Get ready to rock, America.
It's the Smith and Milano Podcast, brought to you by Treehouse Comedy Productions. Here's R.C. Smith and Lou Milano.
All right, buddy.
Now we're off and running.
Episode 6.
Smith and Milano Podcast. I don't know if you noticed this, but I got a haircut for today's show.
You did,
yeah,
right?
I got a
Tightened
haircut.
up your head.
Yeah, it looks good, huh?
I hate talking to people about haircuts. Son of, hey, you got
Well,
your
see,
ears trimmed? Your haircut, you cut them all?
I got a haircut. Which one? All of them.
Stop it! It's always the same thing.
Yeah, it's just a haircut.
But you look good. You look
Thanks,
good.
man.
You're
Thanks.
all tightened up.
I'm all tightened up.
Brad was commenting on my my manicuring.
Really?
Today, I had to go pick something up for him.
Your manicure? You mean your fingers?
No, the way like my beard was trimmed. He's like, you do this for me? I was like, this is gay.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but what are we doing here?
I've told guys that their hair looks cool. Hey, that's a cool haircut.
Yeah.
And said to guys, wow, that's a nice hat or whatever.
Sure.
But I've never said to a guy, wow, you look great.
Yeah, you look fantastic. What have you been up to?
You were so hot.
Is it those biotics, those probiotics that you're taking?
I've never once ever complimented a guy. Ever. Ever. And nor do I intend to.
Clear.
I just want to be really clear.
That you've never complimented a man.
No. Not
Okay.
on anything. No.
Like, hey, nothing like, hey, that's a beautiful penis.
No, I've never
Nothing.
said that. No.
Nothing.
I've never once said, can I get a closer look at that?
Can I get a whiff?
Come here. Get closer.
You know what? That's a funny thing. You ever see the movie Baby Boy with Tyrese?
No.
I know that was like the dumbest question I could have asked.
all the movies you bring up, I've never seen.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was Taraji P. Henson was in the movie and played his girlfriend, and she wanted to know if he was cheating.
Right.
And she said, come here, let me smell your dick.
Wow.
And I was like, that's aggressive. I've never heard of that before.
No.
Women should be smelling more dicks, I feel like.
Yeah, but
I mean, if you really want to know,
right?
If he's fresh and off the street, smell a dick.
It makes sense.
Yeah, give
not,
it a whiff.
Not that I've ever cheated on anyone, but I would think that the first thing you would do is want to wash up.
Yeah.
After you were done.
Yeah, this guy's scrubbing up right now as we speak. Depends on when you're listening to it.
Gentlemen, just carry some baby wipes with you.
If you're fresh off a cheat,
right?
Don't be like Tyrese and Baby Boy.
No.
Scrub your dick, because she's going to want to smell it when you get home.
Scrub.
Everybody's making dick smelling plans right now, I feel like.
Even as we speak. So guys like, baby, I got to go home early tonight. Why? I got to wash my dick.
I've never thought of that. And that scene from that movie shook me for the rest of my life.
Yes.
I said, well, I've been sheltered. That's the word.
That's sheltered.
My whole life.
You know what? I blame my parents.
Yeah. There were no dick-smelling conversations in our house.
Not once. We barely had the birds and the bees talk.
My dad never said,
No.
hey, if you're going to cheat on your wife or girlfriend, make sure you scrub up.
Make sure you're fresh down there.
She might smell your dick.
Make sure you're fresh down there. We should do a whole line of man products for smelling fresh.
Yeah, we're sure.
You know, that would be great.
We're experts at that.
And then the commercial would be like a guy and his son walking down the beach.
Always.
Son, did you ever not feel quite so fresh after you've been with a woman? And then you have to go home to your real woman.
Right.
You're with your piece on the side. And you're about to go home to the same woman you've been with forever and ever. But you still want to smell fresh.
Right.
Gee, Dad, what should I use?
What do you call it? My head's smoking right now trying to figure it out. All I know is they share a Werther's at the end of the commercial.
No. They're like two dogs and they smell each other's.
That's awesome. So we're Smith and Milano. This is a Smith and Milano podcast.
That's right. He's Milano. I'm Smith.
Yeah, you're R.C. Smith. I'm Lou Milano.
Right.
I guess we're telling you this for those of you who don't know,
or
does
who
it
are
matter?
just maybe they've just stumbled upon our podcast for the first time. This is episode 6.
I feel like it doesn't matter who we are,
right?
Because I mean we're bringing smelling dicks to
I think at this point people have either said yes, I'm in this for the long haul and I'm going to listen to the whole show,
or I'm out.
Or they're going to say,
yeah.
Fuck this.
So what is it? So you are a stand-up comedian.
I've been
by
a stand-up
trade.
comic for 27 years.
Very successful, very funny.
Yep.
This is how we met. What don't I know about your career that might interest me, that might interest the listening public?
to show my sensitive side, so other people are really
I'm
interested in
thinking
learning
career.
about me.
No one cares about your feelings.
I was a theater major in college.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I moved to New York in 1984 to be an actor. Didn't even have stand-up on my radar.
Acting
Had no
aspirations.
interest in being a stand-up comic. Didn't even know you could become a stand-up comic. And did for years and years, probably for about 10 years, did almost exclusively children's theater.
What does that mean?
It means that I performed in plays for kids.
Oh, okay.
Like Saturday and Sunday afternoons.
You got to get your start somewhere.
Absolutely. A lot of improv, a lot of goofy costumes. I did a run as I played all the characters in a Snow White spoof except for Snow White.
All of them.
So I played all the other characters.
It's a heavy lift.
It was believe me, I was the huntsman.
How many?
I was the
how
prince.
many midgets are there? There's 8?
No. You know what I would do? I would get kids up on stage and they would be the dwarfs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see? And
so
then
you
I would-
eliminate
yeah.
having to go through all that range
Exactly.
of emotion.
And the kids were really cute, and I would tell them what to say and stuff like that. But every now and then, you would get a kid that would act up. So during the show, I would say, "Come here, Happy," or whatever the kid's name was.
Sure, or Dopey.
And I would take him aside, and I'd be like, "Listen, you better fucking do what I tell you to do." Because I will kick your ass here in front of your parents, Snow White, and all the other dwarfs.
So you were Artie Lang in
Exactly.
an elf.
I think he copied that from me. And then I would turn around, all right, everybody.
Yeah.
And Happy would look like, he had just seen a car accident or something.
Were there days you wanted to hang yourself when you had to go to work?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Halfway through the show.
Yeah.
I want to hang myself.
But you honed your skills there. I mean, you learned improvisation
Yeah.
comedy.
If not for doing children's theater
wouldn't be where you are
and
today.
learning to perform for every kind of audience, I would not be a stand-up comic today.
what would you say your biggest gig was as an actor for
As
adults?
an actor, my biggest gig, actually my biggest gig, believe it or not, was for children's theater. I was in Cincinnati performing at the Taft Theater, 2,500 people.
Wow.
For a day. Performing in, I was in Treasure Island.
Ah, yes.
I played young Jim Hawkins.
A classic.
In
Young
Treasure
James.
Island, yeah.
All right, we got to know R.C. Smith. I don't even want to talk about it.
What don't I know about you?
I do a radio show in Connecticut.
I know that because I'm on it all the time.
Of some success. It's been 10 years we've been doing it.
Right.
It's a morning show on a classic rock radio station, 50,000 watt radio station. Covers a lot of the state of Connecticut and Putnam, Dutchess, and Westchester counties in New York. Outside of that, what did I do?
Did you?
Speaking of acting,
Uh-huh.
I auditioned to be an actor.
Right.
At Purchase College. Is it college or university? What is it?
Is it SUNY Purchase?
Yeah, SUNY Purchase.
Yeah, all right.
They have a famous.
They were a great
acting-
theater program.
Yeah, I believe Denzel went there.
I don't know.
All right, whatever. I'm just making it.
Let's just say he did.
John Lovitz went there.
Al Pacino.
So it was terrible, man. I was terrible.
So you auditioned.
I didn't get in.
You auditioned to get into their theater program.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see, if you want to go there as an actor, if I'm remembering correctly, I think you had to audition before your application even goes in.
Wow. See, the school that I went to in Cincinnati, you could go and declare yourself a theater major, but at the end of your sophomore year, you had to present a number of scenes and monologues, and they would tell you whether or not you got to stay in the theater program.
Really?
That's how it worked.
I actually don't remember how it worked. All, but I do know is it was the first audition I've ever done. I was sweating bullets. And when I got there, I realized there were real actors there that were going to be conducting the auditions. In fact, the guy that watched my audition was in Die Hard 2, the black guy with the glasses.
Oh, the guy that was the one in Die Hard 2?
2, yeah. At the airport one.
Right.
It was in Chicago, right?
Is he the good guy or the bad guy?
I think he was a good guy.
He's the good guy that goes out past the marker to the house that has the old equipment.
I've seen two less than any
to
of
try to
those.
hook it up.
I don't know. Okay? Just stop it. Just pause on the interrogation.
First of all, at least I bring up movies that are cool. You know, I know the Die Hard movies. I've seen them many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
I know them really well. I know the Terminator movies. I've seen them really, really well. You're bringing up movies like, did you ever see Jack and Diane?
Die Hard 2 is still awesome. It's the least of all the Die Hard movies, but it's still awesome. Sipowicz was in it.
Right.
He was not conducting my audition.
No, thank God.
That would have been great. But I did...
All I'm saying is that my choices of movies are so much more manly than your choice of movies.
I have no problem
by
with that.
far.
No problem
That's
with
all
that.
I'm saying.
I did Michael Corleone in The Godfather. I did that monologue.
That was your audition piece?
Yeah, now
wow.
I'm a 5'8" fat ginger.
Right.
Bald
Uh-huh.
at the time, too, because I had shaved my head. wearing a suit, trying to do. It was just the most embarrassing.
So you looked more like Curly.
My skin was crawling. I gave up 13 seconds into it.
Wow.
It was
do
just
some.
the
Do you have
worst.
some? Do some right now. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Do it.
No,
Do it.
it's actually traumatic. If I were to start speaking the words, I won't quote that line ever.
Right.
Since that day, I mean, verge of tears when I left. Most embarrassing day of my life.
It does suck. No, auditioning sucks. It's as close to being naked in front of people as you can ever get.
And they look like they hate you.
Well, if you're good, they hate you because they're jealous. If you're bad, they hate you for wasting their time.
Right.
So there's no way that you can ever make them like you.
Well, that's great news. Everybody go be an actor.
Yeah.
It worked out great for us.
Well, listen, everybody wants to be a comic now because they think it's so easy.
Yeah. It's a road to a Netflix original. And I also, I was the MC. This was a positive experience, one that was fantastic for me. I was the MC for a traveling Northeast tour of the Deadliest Catch speaking court.
Oh, I know those guys. They're great.
Sig Hansen.
Yeah.
John and Andy Hillstrand were on
the
my
Hillstrands I've
tour.
met a couple of times. Great guys.
They were great. Fun to party with.
Yeah.
I made a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
That money went to terrible, terrible things. Like I got it and it was gone.
Was there groupies for the Deadliest Catch guys?
Yeah.
Like hot women?
In fact, there was a chick. Oh, my God. We were in Asbury Park, New Jersey.
All
that
right.
big theater holds like 3,000 people. Sold out.
Wow.
So actually, all the cities we went to, we got treated like rock stars. They were really at the height of their success.
And what was the show? Just them talking about being fishermen?
Just talking about the show Deadliest Catch.
Okay.
And money was raked in because I was making I want to say it was like $1,500 a show.
Holy shit. That's good dough.
Yeah.
That's great.
So they're making whatever.
Right.
So I went out. I do 5 minutes of stand. I was still doing stand up at the time. Do 5 minutes of stand up. Introduce the guys. Come out, and I'd run the show. I would ask
like the
questions.
moderator.
I'm the moderator, exactly. Okay. So I did that. Made money. Lost money. But you said the groupies.
Yeah.
There was a chick from the Lingerie Football League that was following the Hillstrands around the country.
Wow.
Smoking hot, and she showed up at Asbury Park
On her dime. She followed them. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or at least that's what she told me. But she was definitely a groupie. She was there that night. She was backstage, and she had no relationship to them that I'm aware of. I don't know if anything happened, but that was fun. So that you might not know about me. So enough about us.
Now I'm impressed.
Yeah. Well, we're still in a garage in Danbury. What's to be impressed
There's
about?
no women in lingerie showing up at this gig.
Here's one more from the road.
All right, one more from the road. What do you have? Do you have a story? Because I haven't done a damn thing.
I always have stories.
In a week and a half.
The worst gig that I ever had by far as a stand-up comic.
We call this one from the road.
One from the road because we tell stories about what may have happened to us on the road.
There you go.
So many years ago, I had only been a comic probably for about 5 years, just starting to go out on the road a little bit. I started doing colleges. And doing colleges sucks.
I've not heard not one good word from any comedian that has to do a college.
It's terrible. They hand you a list of what you can't talk about. There's always something that's just happened on campus, whether it was a break-in or an assault or a racial, a scrawling of swastikas or something. There's something
or
always
the serial
happening.
Shitter. He's just shitting from dorm to dorm, and you can't bring it up.
Or food poisoning broke out. There's always something. Because it's a bunch of stupid 20-somethings, that can't take care of themselves. So there's always an issue.
Can I get you guys some Metamucil? That's off the table.
So you always, so you show up to do the gig, and it's never in like a nice theater. It's always like in front of the Wendy's at the at the student union.
Don't they have an auditorium or something?
Sometimes you might get an auditorium. Sometimes
you're just in the vestibule.
Right. If there's not a prayer meeting or some left wing cause,
you're standing in the vestibule trying to get the joke finished in the time they walk in the door and go to the other one.
And so there's always and then Fran Lebowitz shows up to she's the head of the student union. So she shows up to give you, hi, RC, Fran, I'm Fran. Listen, I'm sure you're very funny, but we just had an outbreak of herpes on campus. So if you cannot do any sexual stuff, that'll be great. No, I can do that. Oh, and also, a car went crazy and went through the cafeteria and took out 20 people. So don't talk about cars or cafeterias or food or any kind of drink or anything like that. So it's terrible. So you're like, all right, well, I can do 3 minutes.
We just had a rice recall. Don't mention Asia at all.
Listen, people
the
are
topics are dwindling.
Listen, people are really jumpy because someone's been sneaking up behind them. So don't say hello. or hi, or how are you,
or raise your voice,
or anything like that.
Sure. So it's terrible.
So it sucks. So I was doing Robert Morse College outside of Pittsburgh, and the money was great, but I was only the middle act, and so but the money was great. It was like $600, and I thought, all right. So I rented a car and